Have you ever wondered while talking about grief feels so taboo? Hi, welcome back to Beyond the Valley. I'm Reverend Kevin. Join me today as we talk about the importance of breaking the silence when dealing with grief. In a world where grief is often swept under the rug, it's time to break the silence and confront the elephant in the room. Join me as we explore the importance of acknowledging and processing our emotions as we must, and we'll underline the word must, talk about it right now. Get ready for a raw, honest, and emotional conversation that will help you feel seen, heard, and understood. Have you ever wondered while talking about grief feels so taboo? It's like an invisible cloud that hangs over us, making it hard to discuss. Even though it's something we all experience at some point in our lives, grief isn't just about losing someone that we love. It can also be about dealing with the changes, the endings, or even the loss of a part of ourselves. It's like a new beginning. Grief is universal. Every single one of us will face it, and yet we often find ourselves at a loss for how to talk about it. This silence can make things even harder, leaving us feeling isolated and unsure of where to turn. By talking openly about grief, we can actually start to heal and support each other in ways we never thought possible. The good news is that you don't need any prior knowledge to dive into this conversation. What you do need is the willingness to reflect on your own experiences and share them if you feel comfortable doing so. This openness can significantly enhance the learning process, not for just you, but for everyone involved. Understanding and discussing grief openly can be incredibly therapeutic. It allows us to process our emotions, understand that we're not alone, and find ways to move forward. So let's get into it and explore why talking about grief is something that we must do. Grief is one of those things that affects all of us, but we rarely discuss it openly. No prior knowledge is needed to understand grief. You just need to be willing to reflect and share. This conversation is for anyone who has ever felt the weight of grief and wondered how to talk about it. The main points that we'll cover include recognizing grief in all its forms, understanding the various stages people go through, and the importance of communication in the healing process. We'll also touch on how to approach these conversations with sensitivity and care. Recognizing grief, well, that's our first step. It's not just about death, it's about the loss in any form. Understanding its stages can help us navigate our emotions and support others better. Communication, that's the key. And it's how we share our feelings and find support and then begin to heal. Let's talk about some examples. I remember a friend who lost their pet and felt incredibly isolated because they didn't think others would understand their pain. But when they finally opened up, they found a community of support. Sharing our stories can really help. When approaching conversations about grief, listening is crucial. Sometimes it's not about what we say, but what we hear and validate. Letting someone know their feelings are acknowledged can be incredibly comforting. However, there are challenges. Fear of discomfort often stops us from talking about grief. We might worry about saying the wrong thing or stirring up painful memories, but the truth is, silence can be far more damaging. The main challenge is usually the fear of making things worse, but often not talking about it can make things worse. By facing our fears and talking openly, we can actually find healing, or at least start on the road of healing. To recap, we discussed the importance of talking about grief, how to approach these conversations, and some challenges we might face. The key takeaway is that talking about grief isn't just about venting, it's about healing. By sharing our experiences, listening to others, and listening is so important, we create a supportive community. This isn't just about us. It's about creating a culture where grief is acknowledged and discussed openly. If you made it this far, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever struggled with how to talk about grief? What did you learn from those experiences? Try initiating a conversation about grief with someone you trust. It could be a friend, it could be a family member, or even a professional. The act of talking can be incredibly liberating. Put your information in the comments below. I'd be anxious and curious to see what you have experienced about talking about grief. Don't forget to subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. We post regularly videos on mental health topics, aiming to create a safe place for discussion and growth. Thank you so much for watching this video. We appreciate everything. We appreciate your time. Please don't forget to subscribe and like. And peace be with you. And we'll see you real soon.